Hey peeps, and welcome to a Lego train set video. I'm really working hard today to bring this to you because I'm fighting a cold. You're probably thinking, well, why is he in shorts? Honestly, the conservatory is really warm, the house is really warm because of central heating. Outside it's actually really quite mild. It is winter, but it's really quite mild, so yeah, I can get away with it basically. But yeah, we've got a train set here today. This is the Lego one. It's actually not brand new. It's been out for about maybe half a year, just over 6 months, maybe 9 months or something. But it's Christmas and the Lego stuff is always popular, so I thought I would visit a Lego train set. What's also quite special about this one is that it's clearly the ice train. I mean, look at this. A couple of years ago, in fact, this time a couple of years ago, I was in Berlin, in Germany, and I saw the ice trains, the ICE trains, all over the place. This is definitely one of them. Look at that. It certainly looks it to me. Although, admittedly, I think there are some trains in Italy, and there's probably some in France, and there's a lot in Japan that probably also do look quite similar. I think even the Acela Express in America is pretty similar. So we're definitely going to have a look at that, but I have done these passenger train sets by Lego before. If I just put that to one side, look at this one. I did this one a couple of years ago, but the music I put over the top of it wasn't copyright free, so I had to take the whole thing down. If you'd like me to visit that one again and do this one as well, maybe have a massive running session or something, just let me know and I'll get that done. Okay, so back to this set. Now, what do you get? They're not as fancy as the cargo sets, it has to be said. It's basically just a loop of track and a passenger train. There's no crane or diggers or wagons or accessories or anything like that. So they are quite basic, and as a result they're cheaper. But it does still come with all the motor functions. So you can see that it's got an infrared controller in the bottom. There's plenty of track. It does form a nice simple oval. There is a level crossing included with some person on their bike. There's a tiny bit of a platform, but it's nothing fancy. And then flip it around to the back and you can see that this is all the motor function stuff. I don't know if you can fit lights to it. I know that you can fit those to some models, but I don't know if you can with this one. We'll find out. And then basically these are just lots of cool photos that show you what it's going to be like once you do it. I mean, this is what Lego do. They're very good at it. And you can see there just what bags make up what models. There's not really a need to do that. I mean, I remember in my day, you know, you had there was none of this numbered stuff, and there weren't little sections. It was a game of spot the difference, and you just got on with it basically. Hey, and we did fine. We did fine. So it does look really quite a nice set. My only criticism from the off would be that this looks like it is one gigantic moulded piece, and I don't like that. I know that it looks realistic, but it also looks a little bit Duplo, a little bit Fisher-Price. I vastly prefer this, where you can see that the front of the train is actually made up of individual blocks. If you have a look at that, see, that's much better. That's Lego. This is not so Lego, is it? I mean, putting it all together, it's just 5 bits. That's not very good. Obviously, it's not going to be that bad. There definitely looks like there's loads of pieces in the coaches, but they do have this gigantic moulded piece on the end. So I'm probably not going to keep it. Probably, because I've already got quite a lot of Lego trains, so I will probably sell this afterwards, so do watch out for that. I'll let you know if I do, and you can buy it off me if you want to. I can even sign it, and it might even be worth an extra 50p one day. So, right, let's get the box open and see what you get inside. Okay, I'm back. I've also had to just pop to the kitchen to get some tissues. That's how bad I am, honestly. I'm blowing my nose every 5 seconds, so I do apologise for that, people, but I will soldier on. I will get this done for you. Let's do this. So I've just gone to the kitchen to open the box, and I stupidly opened both sides at once, and so just casually walking back, la-di-da-di-da, everything just fell out of one side all over the dining room floor. I don't know, what am I like? I think it's fine, it should be fine. We'll find out. Nice! Well, there's a massive sticker sheet for a start, that's always good. Although some people don't like that. Some people don't like the stickers. I love the stickers, but some people get really nervous. You've just got to relax and not worry about it. So, we've got some curved track, more curved track, more curved track, and then in here, this is really odd. I wonder why they put the straights in here. We've got some, we've got some straight track. Look at that. See what I'm on about? I mean, come on. That's a bit ridiculous. That's probably the largest single piece of Lego I have ever seen. You can't call that Lego. That is just a piece of moulded plastic with 4 little studs on top. I know it probably lets the shape look even more realistic and stuff. That's fine, and it is for kids. It's fine, but come on, I prefer the old hardcore stuff. So we get 2 giant moulded pieces there. These are definitely the chassis for the coaches, for the units, because they're huge. So we get 3 of them. We get 2 massive windows. I'm sure they'll tell us to put those in at some point. Oh wow, yes, this is the infrared receiver. So this is going to have to go into the motor unit somewhere and be connected to the motor, which I'm assuming will be in this box. Let's have a look. Yes, there we go. So we've got some wheels, some bogies, some couplings. That's the actual motor, so that's basically what you put the axles through, and it powers both of them, I think. And then in the bottom, yes. In fact, yes, there's more yet. There's the battery box as well. So we've seen these before, and if you're familiar with Lego train sets like this, you'll have seen all of this before. And then finally, there we go. That's your infrared controller. I've got about 5 of these now or something ridiculous. So yeah, if you want to come round, we'll have a Lego Trains party. There's a controller for everybody. Okay, so I've organised all the bags, I've lined them all up, 1 right through to bag 7. So if we just open this, we should find out what we're going to be building first. I think it's the level crossing. I think it's that really, oh my gosh. Gosh, that was tough. Could make airplanes out of that. Right, yes, I was right. So as you can see, booklet 1 is definitely the level crossing. We'll do that first. And then we move on to, oh wow, that must be the motor unit. That must be the main power car. And then, yep, the coach in the middle before finishing up with the dummy unit at the other end. Lovely. And look at that. What a fantastic sheet of stickers. I love them. Absolutely love them. Oh, more curves. Oh dear, mustn't leave those. Although, to be honest, I don't need them. I've got tons of Lego track. I've got a box full. So, right. Oh, it's my favourite bit. Organising all the parts. Okay, so we're back. That was easy. Bag 1, definitely very easy. It's got the people in it, it's got the person's bike, it's definitely the level crossing, so I think it's going to ask us to put some track together as well. If I just open it up, oh yeah, and you get one of these tools. I've got about 20 of these as well now. I'm really glad that they include these. These are really useful for actually dismantling it afterwards. They really help you to break the bits of Lego apart. They're really cool. Look, see, I'm following his instructions. There we go. You can see there that he's telling you you're supposed to empty it onto a flat surface and then organise them all before assembly. That's definitely what I have done. I really love this bit. I love the organising the bits more than the actual building the model. I do. I don't know why. I love bringing order to chaos. There we go. Yep, I'm weird. Right, moving on. We've got to grab 2 straights. So, 1, 2, or in Japanese, ichi ni. Okay. I told you I've got a cold, I'm not thinking straight. Okay, so we've got to make the woman first. Oh no, oh my gosh, no, apologies, sorry, it's the man. Fashions, I just can't keep up with today's fashions. Okay, so we're back. There we go. I've assembled those. They're not that complicated, are they? They're really, really basic. And these two little folks, they're done. She's got the briefcase. He's got a man bag. So, yep. Okay, definitely keeping with trends. I'm going to couple this up to the very, very basic platform then. Just like that. There we go. And I also, because Lego is so good at this, they give you spares for like all the little things, don't they? So I'm going to put this little red light on the back of the bike. There we go. It's probably not that realistic actually, but it's important to be seen when you are on your bike. So there we go. I'm going to whack that on there. So we've got a little spare light there. And that's our station. Very, very basic. Slightly better than Crew. Only slightly. And I think this is definitely big enough for like a Lego wagon or truck to go over, which is really good. But it is a basic level crossing. It's a single crossing basically. I've never seen them do a single crossing before. So that's quite interesting. But I love the little light signals. I love the seats. I think it's really cute. So that's done. I can put that to one side now and move on to, which, yes, the main unit. Hi, yeah, sorry, I just had to interrupt and show you exactly what I mean. I mean, just look at this, folks. Just look at this. Look how easy this is. There's barely anything to do in this stage, yet they still show you what you need. And then for this stage as well, it's literally just 2 little pieces, but they've dedicated an entire page to it. And you'll see that it's multicoloured just to make it even easier. And it's not a problem because all of that is going to be hidden basically inside the locomotive, so you won't see it. But they just use different colours to make it really easy. We didn't have any of this in my day. It was really hard. Well, it wasn't actually. It wasn't really hard. There was none of that. You just had to spot the difference. You just had to see what had changed from the previous page. And we coped fine. I really hope that they don't dumb it down anymore. It does not need to get any simpler, okay? It's fine as it is. Just carry on. I mean, this thing is quite useful when you're building something complicated like a Lego Technic model. But for a train, it's probably a bit over the top. Anyway, rant mode over. I'll carry on. Okay, and we're done. There we go. That is the main power car. It didn't take very long actually, and the most fiddly part was probably the actual cab. That giant moulded piece I had a huge moan about, that was probably the most fiddly bit. But once that was on, yeah, everything else is really impressive, to be honest. It's got some good weight to it. I love how the little driver actually sits like down below the rest of the train. That's really quite fancy. And it is a nice unit. I do like it. I can't wait to see it powered up and going. So that's really cool. The power button on the top, that's got to be the best bit. I mean, just watch this. Look at that. Power on. Power off. Fantastic. Seriously, those chaps at Lego are so clever with their designs. Bit of an odd comment. Look, they're suggesting that I put it on the track and run it right now. No, I don't think I'm going to do that. We'll do that at the end, yeah? When we've got all of it assembled. So, I really have got to press on and get this finished. It's onto the middle coach now. Okay, ta-da! There we go. Another one of the coaches is done, so this should couple up to this one quite nicely. There we go. Oh yes, it's looking pretty good now. So I'll put the completed units to one side, and then all we need to do now is build the dummy car. Ta-da! We're done! We are done. Let me just get all these little spare bits of Lego out of the way. What I find really interesting is that we've got 4 spare wheels. I think that's really, really bizarre. I don't know why they have given us so many spare wheels, but they have. So that maybe the grips on them wear down over time. I don't know. But they've given us 4 spare traction wheels, so that's quite cool. So yeah, there we go. We've got the power car. I'll just put that there, and then we've got the middle coach. I'll put that there, and then the final car, the dummy car. So all that's left now is for me to assemble the loop, get a controller with some batteries in it, and get it running. Okay, welcome back. Thank you for bearing with me for the entire duration of this video. If you've made it this far, give yourself a big pat on the back. We're finally ready to run the train. I've gone and got one of my own infrared controllers. This has got batteries pre-installed, so it's good to go. I'm just going to put the power car on first and test that it runs okay. This is what they recommended you do ages ago, if you remember. Make sure it's switched on. There we go. Okay, here we go. Wrong way. Whoa! Okay, yeah, it works, but it's just taken out half the station and killed some people and knocked a bike over. Let's just dismantle the platform for now and put it somewhere else. Okay, right, go again. Yeah, that's better. You see, I think really it needs to be a bigger layout because it's such a pointy train. It's such a pointy train, it's such a long locomotive that the nose of it hits anything as it comes around a bend. So it works anyway, that's the main thing. So let's whack on one of these coaches, like that, and then the dummy unit as well. And then I'll get the main power unit to couple them up. So here we go. Yes. Come on. Oh, you can see how it's struggling now. Okay, let's give it some power. Excellent. Look at that. That's really good. So yeah, we have got a few casualties. a smashed up platform and a broken bike, but it's running. And it's pretty quick as well. Okay, whoa. It's actually moving the layout. Right, clearly it works and it is awesome. It's honestly, it's wonderful. So much fun, but it needs a bigger layout. It needs more track. So, if you would like to see me assemble a massive loop of track, maybe even 2 loops, and I get this passenger train going, and I get the other passenger train going, and a freight train going, let me know. Give the video a like. If it gets more than, I don't know, if it gets more than 200 likes or something, I'll definitely do it, and that should be really, really awesome. So, yeah. Meanwhile, back to it.
This train terminates here. Please ensure that you take all your belongings with you when you leave the train. Thank you for travelling with us today.
Hey peeps, and welcome to another I-82 review. We've got a steam locomotive review for you today in the form of a Robinson class J11. Now this locomotive is special because it's a present. It was given to me at Christmas last year by Nick. Absolutely fantastic guy, a really, really great friend, love him to bits, I really do. He runs the LMS 16440 channel. I'll put the link in the description below. Please do go check it out, check out his videos, follow him on Twitter. He's a really nice guy, knows tons about trains, way more than me. And he used to work, I don't think he does anymore, but he used to work at the S&J Models model shop in Northwich. I think he still pops in from time to time. But yeah, seriously great guy, and I am so thankful to him for getting me such a beautiful model for Christmas. It's not, it was a 2-part thing, because Nick's very clever and very thoughtful like that. For my birthday, which actually is in about 3 weeks' time, August 28th if you must know, he got me a couple of coaches. Here we go. So I opened these coaches, these suburban coaches in maroon, and I thought, what? This is a bit odd. And then later on, come Christmas, he gave me the locomotive to pull them. What a guy. How cool is that? So, the Robinson J11, I don't actually know very much about it. I know that they were actually called something else. They were part of the Great Central Railway, GCR. And when they were part of the GCR, they were called 9Js. And then the LNER came along in 1923 and then thought, no, scrap that, we're calling them J11s. So they called them J11s, and then they basically stayed J11s right through to their BR days. But, none of them survived. None of them survived into preservation, folks. How sad is that? Not one person thought to save and preserve at least one of them. They're all gone. There aren't any left. They're not the only locomotive to have suffered that kind of fate, sadly. But in model form, they're still here. They're still quite easy to get hold of, so that's something. Okay, there is some history on the back of it. I'll just have a quick read through it for you. The Great Central Railway, Class 9J, was John Robinson's first good locomotive design. first goods locomotive design. Sorry, John, it's not the first good one you've ever done. The first goods locomotive. Yes, they were designed for freight, but they ended up pulling everything. They were so popular with the crews that they really were used for everything. Really, really cool locomotives, really good. Yes, 174 were built between 1901 and 1910, with 18 of them seeing service in France during World War One. Wow. In 1923, they passed to the LNER and were reclassified as J11. The LNER was quick to attempt to bring some of the J11s within the new composite rolling stock gauge. Many different boiler and dome modifications were used to bring the J11 height within the 13-foot gauge height. Some members of the class were rebuilt between 1942 and 1953 with new cylinders, piston valves and a high boiler pitch. So basically what they're saying there is because of their history, they were built at, for example, they were built in Glasgow, they were built at the Vulcan Foundry in Newton-le-Willows, which is just north of me actually, it's not too far away. So because they were built all over the place, they were built ever so slightly differently. And when the LNER got hold of them, they tried to say, right, come on folks, sort them out. So they tried to uniform them all and get them all as similar to each other as possible, with some modifications remaining. You know, some of them were still different. The locomotives gained the nickname of pom-poms due to the similarity of their exhaust note to that of the pom-pom firing gun used in the South African War. Okay. The J11s were designed for and mainly used for freight traffic. However, they were also used for some passenger services, and these duties increased over time. The class was withdrawn between January 1954 and October 1962, with no examples being saved for preservation. Told you. Absolutely criminal, isn't it? What else have I got to tell you? They had a tractive effort of about 21,000, well, more or less 22,000 pounds per square foot, so that's quite powerful really for such a little locomotive. 2 inside cylinders, and they could do about 60 miles per hour. Some people probably got them up to quicker than that, but they could do about 60 miles an hour. So really, really cool little locomotives. Let's open the box and see what you get inside. Okay, so it's the block of ice packaging that we are now very, very familiar with. Just slide off the sleeve, take out the block of ice, there it is, put that to one side. Okay, so this is the usual gump that we've come to expect. Let's have a look. Robinson J11 060. So you've got like a parts detailing there, which is useful if you need to replace any. Not that I ever, well, I don't think I've ever had to do that. Running in, the mechanism of this model requires running in without a load, which means don't get it pulling anything, for approximately 1 hour at moderate speed. I find 30 minutes in each direction is absolutely perfect. And basically what that does, and I always get questions about this, is it allows the oil fitted at the factory to just get around all the cogs and teeth and all the bearings and everything that moves. It just allows everything to bed in and get used to running. It's like when you pick up a new car, or even if you get a new motorbike, or anything mechanical really, it doesn't do it any harm to just run it in. So that's useful. It's talking about what radius of curves it best runs on, but we've got 4th and 3rd on the conservatory layout, and the proper layout isn't even, it's even more gentle than that. Body shell removal, DCC decoder fit. Oh, that's interesting. 21 pin. So it's got a 21 pin socket in the tender. That's really, really good. Talks about where to add additional lubrication when you service the model, replacement parts. So yeah, it's what we're used to. We are used to that, aren't we? Oh gosh. Of course, yes, the Bachmann Collectors Club. I promise I will do this. I did look at the Hornby one a few years ago, so I promise I'll do the Bachmann one as well. In fact, I'll do it this summer. Yep, I'll fill all this in, I'll join this summer, and I'll make a video on it. How about that? Okay, so that leaves us with this. Let's take off the outer sleeve. Now we have some detail here. In fact, wow, that looks fantastic. It looks like some of it has already been snapped off the sprue, but there is quite a lot of detail there, so that's really cool. You've got couplings, you've got shovels and various tools that they would have used for like, well, I've seen them use tools for various things. Some of these tools are used for uncoupling and coupling. Some of them are used for just literally shoveling coal from the tender into the firebox. It's really nice to include stuff like that, and if you wanted to, you could paint them and weather them and really make it look realistic, so that's really impressive. And then if we lift this up, I thought as much with it talking about there being a 21 pin decoder socket in the tender. I pretty much assumed that, well, I was right. Look, they've connected the two with wires, so you have to be really careful. Never ever lift up the loco and let the tender be held by just the wires, or the other way around. No way. So if we just get all of that out of shot, we can have a look at the locomotive itself. Okay, well, because the locomotive and tender are permanently connected together via those wires, it's a little bit fiddly to hold. It's really quite awkward, but I'll try my best, okay? Wow, what is there to say? She is a beauty. What a little stunner. You've got sprung buffers, you've got NEM couplings with slimline tension locks pre-fitted, rivets absolutely all over the place. Look at that. Even massive ones on the firebox. A metal handrail going down both sides. A really nice big chimney. In fact, no, maybe not. I thought maybe if the chimney is big enough and deep enough, you could probably fit a smoke generator, but it depends what they've put inside the boiler. A pair of beautiful little whistles, or well, they're probably safety valves, aren't they, with the whistle on the top of the cab there. And then look at this. Look at that cab detail, folks. You can see everything. You can see the handbrake, you can see the reverser, you can see the regulator, even the little pressure readouts. Absolutely beautiful. And then there's a massive coal load that they have fitted, but it is removable, so you can make your own if you want to. The detail is just as good on the tender. Look, you've got little handrails there, you've got what is probably a brake of some sort, I'm not too sure. I guess this is probably to rest the shovel on, or to rest some tools of some sort. A beautiful example of the BR Early emblem logo. Just look at that. And then, again, sprung buffers on the back, another NEM coupling, a slimline tension knot that's been pre-fitted, vacuum tubing, handrails, and the whole thing is so heavy that, oh, I should see the muscles in my arms. For such a tiny locomotive, it's like they've cast the whole thing out of lead. Really, really heavy. And just looking at those wheels, I don't think she's ever been ran. I seriously don't think she has ever been put onto the rails. Ever. That is incredible. And look at all those pickups there in the tender as well. Oh, do you know, this looks good. This bodes well. I think she's going to be a little stunner. I really do. I can see her doing so much work. I can see her pulling cute little branch line passenger trains, and I can see her doing tons of freight duties as well. Nick always blows me away with locomotives like this, and oh my gosh, no. No. Oh, phew. I was going to say, no way does the smoke box open as well. I don't think it does. No. That would have just made my jaw knock the tripod over or something. Let me see if I can flip it over to the other side. Okay, there we go. Yep, it was a little bit fiddly, but I was able to get the locomotive onto the other side. And look at that, you've even got like a flap. Look at that. That's supposed to drop down between, and cover the floor between the tender and the locomotive. It's little touches like that that are just incredible. And I can't get it to couple up. Go on, there we go. There's the massive reverser that you can see just there, going down to where it should, in between the frames. There's not much detail in terms of coupling rods and linkage, but then it's such a simple locomotive having internal cylinders that you're not going to see very much. You can see the brakes. You can see so much detail. It's beautiful. Nick does this. I don't know how he does it. He always manages to find some really quite random locomotive I've never heard of and I would never give a second glance at. And he makes me fall in love with it. Absolutely beautiful. Gosh, let's put her on the track and see how well she runs. Okay, so here we are at the test layout. I'm going to put it on this outer track. I'm just going to have to make sure that the tender is coupled up. There we go. Not too tricky. You just have to, and it's really important, you have to make sure that the pin on the tender is properly located into the metal hole, which is on a metal strut that comes out of the back of the locomotive. You must make sure that you do that. Otherwise, when the locomotive goes, then basically it'll be pulling the tender purely on those wires, and you do not want to do that. Another thing to note at this point is I have actually taken a bit of detail off the tender just here and put it to one side because I kept catching it. Every time I tried to pick it up, I kept catching it, and I was just worried I was going to break it. So for the purposes of this review, I've actually taken off that piece of detail there. So yeah, folks, this model has so much detail, there's even a chance you can snap some off. You have to be really careful. Those are the standards we're reaching these days. So we've got the combi controller plugged in and wired up to this outer loop. So let's give it a bit of juice and see what happens. Oh, nice. Really nice. That was me. That wasn't the locomotive. That is really impressive. Let's just have a quick gander at the slow speed performance actually. Here we go. Oh wow. That's DC, folks. There's no chip in that yet. I'm always impressed whenever a locomotive can do speed like that. There we go. And not have a chip installed. Fantastic. Right, let's get her going around the loop then and see just how well she handles those express points. Okay, here she comes. Will she make it? Will she make it? Let's find out. Oh yes, she's done it. Impressive. I think there was a little bit of a wobble in terms of performance, but considering just how lethal those express points are, she's done very well. Hey! Okay, yeah, seriously, she is nice. I am so impressed. What a quality mechanism. So smooth. Loads of detail. Not too noisy, not too quiet. She's just got like a sort of a gentle grunt to her, and that you can tell she's strong. I think we need to get those coaches on and give her the complete train look that she's supposed to have. Okay, so I'm just gently backing the locomotive up onto those coaches now. As I say, this is the train that Nick gave me, basically. This is as he intended it. And oh my gosh, he is so good. Just look how smart this looks. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Nick, you could work for Bachmann. You could design their train sets. Look at that. That is just absolutely stunning. I don't know how prototypical it is, because when I was reading up about the J11s, I found out that they ran all over the place. They literally were, you could find them all over the country, even in Cheshire, which is definitely not LNER territory. And as for these suburban coaches, well, they're typically London and the southern areas, but they did make it as far north as Birmingham, and they were even used around Manchester from time to time. So, yeah, it's probably okay. It probably is prototypical. It probably is acceptable. I don't think even the most serious of modelers would have a gripe or complaint about it. But hey, this is Ice Age 2. We don't really care about that kind of stuff anyway. We just enjoy trains. So, take it away, J9. Take it away, J11. Let's go a little bit quicker now. She has done a running in, by the way. The beauty of editing. What do I think? I'm just blown away. Nick does this every time. I could kill him. No, I'm joking. I love him to bits. Until Nick bought me this, I had never even heard of a J11 by LNER / GCR, but I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I can just see this being used so much, from pulling gorgeous little branch line trains like this to you know, an absolute ton of different freight varieties. She's just so versatile, and Bachmann have done a really good job of her as well. Stunning detail, beautiful cab detail, a fantastic motor, 21-pin DCC functionality. Yeah, I absolutely love her. I really, really do. ICH2 recommends this.